This is a brief introduction to two products from Saltire Software, Math Illustrations and Geometry Expressions. Math Illustrations is a subset of Geometry Expressions, so we'll use Geometry Expressions to illustrate the properties of both products, and we'll finish up with the unique features of Geometry Expressions. Let's get started with a blank page. Here you see the drawing tools. They're all available. Usual suspects. We'll start with a line segment and draw a triangle. Now we can go back to select mode. These are mostly modal commands, which means you can keep drawing line segments until you go to the select mode or choose another command. But having done that, we're ready to put some constraints on our triangle. Right now it's wild and unconstrained. Once I select an object or objects from the drawing, my possibilities light up. With this line, I can put in a length. And another. Now for this, we'll select an angle. We always want, before we do our angles, to check down in the corner to see that we're in degree mode. Other possibilities are radians, but degrees are what we want for here. If I move this a bit, I can select where my arrows go. Now the problem I had in mind involved this angle, so I'll select it, Shift, and the problem is I can't put an angle in a fully constrained object. My triangle is defined exactly and needs no more constraints. If I put a constraint here, the system won't know which one is the correct one. They'll be overlapping. So we can't give it too much information, but we can give it an annotation. So I'm going to annotate the angle with theta, and I'll adjust it a bit. Now I'm ready to put my triangle into my worksheet. Here I have a copy region command up here, which I'm going to click and select an area, go to my worksheet, and there it is. Control V sticks it right in. As easy as that. So far you've seen the properties of both Math Illustrations and Geometry Expressions. Now we'll move on to some properties found unique to Geometry Expressions. By changing a few values, we'll see how Geometry Expressions is quite different from Math Illustrations. In the output, so far we've been dealing with numeric outputs, real, which is the real tab, which you found in Math Illustrations. Geometry Expressions has symbolic output. Let's see what that means. The length of this line is in terms of the numeric and symbolic input, a mathematical expression. I can change the value here, and it's immediately updated to a possibly recognizable formula for the cosine rule. Another important difference in geometry expressions is the HTML JavaScript app generation. It also has Lua apps, and you can make dashboard widgets to put in your iBooks. The nice thing about JavaScript HTML5 apps is that you don't have to write any HTML code. You just fill in the box. We have our inputs. There are several choices for the form that the input takes. You can use a slider or generate a number randomly. You can output. I've changed the label, and you can use plain text or show hide button. Let's see what it looks like. There it is. We can just change this. And this is my button. There's the answer. So that's geometry expressions and math illustrations. You can see a lot more apps of many more examples on Euclid's Muse, a website contributed to by teachers and users and, of course, us. So thanks for watching.